Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Super-Fanta-Fi. This being a show where I talk about TV shows of the supernatural, fantasy, and or science fictional genre. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode, Beauty and the Beast. It's a very good episode. I like the fact that we still have both sides, Vincent's side as well as DHS side for Kat, not trusting each other, especially because Morgan has been replaced, and now there's someone else. There's a lady running the manhunt against Vincent. I always love when Kat's trying to plead her case to them because she doesn't tell the 100% truth, but she does tell most of the truth. It's like, the reason I'm doing this, it's not even, it's like, I want my husband to be alive. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't love him because it's like, I still don't care about him because she's like, oh, you're still wearing your wedding ring. It's like, Morgan should have never let you in on that operation because you're not in the right mindset. You're too emotionally attached, too emotionally invested in this. And she's basically like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't care about Vincent, but my main purpose is to make sure he gets out of this alive. That's all I care about. It's trying to explain the fact is that he is trying to prove it's innocent. So I thought it's kind of interesting how she does hit him with a little bit of truth. And on Vincent's side, he's trying to prove his loyalty to the group. I don't know why I stopped right there. It was like organization group. It's the same thing. I don't know why I did that. But nevertheless, going through some fights and stuff like that, we did see one point where he kind of had to prevent himself from beasting out a little bit. Basically, he's not controlling his emotions because he's like, I don't want to put you in an operation when you're like this emotional. And the fact of the matter is, it's kind of interesting because it's like you're talking about him being emotional, like him like learning to control his emotions. It's like he's controlling them because he's not beasting out on you. So that's proof enough that he is controlling himself. But I guess he's playing it up a little bit because he wants people to think, yeah, I'm really distraught over Catherine betraying me. So I guess that's when like he's trying to play up that angle. I did like the fact is that he had to go undercover with that lady Diana, and the fact that she kissed him. And, Kat happened to be looking at it because JT, hacked into the DHS's surveillance and zoomed in, and then you just see her face just kind of distraught. And I love what JT tried to do. He's trying to make her feel better. He's like, no. I mean, yeah, he is kissing that super hot lady. I mean, she's not even hot. You still the way he was kissing her? It was almost like he was kissing his aunt. And she's like, JT, let's just stop. I'm not worried about this. I'm not jealous or anything. But then he's like, do I look like the type of person that'd be like, I'm up here trying to save Vincent's life, and then I'd rather, I'd expect to see him running, dodging bullets, trying to avoid DHS agents, but instead seeing him kissing another woman, that would really bother me. He's like, yeah, it would, and it does. It's kind of sad because you could just see how distraught her face was. It's just like, it's not easy seeing your husband kiss another woman. I guess especially granted because you're not able to do it as frequently as you want to, because it's been like a week since he went undercover, and they haven't been able to talk in that entire time, so she's been worried about him the entire time. So it's like, it's not only just that he's kissing another woman, it's because of the fact that she hasn't been able to kiss him, and he hasn't been able to kiss her. It's just things are just mixed matched because of what their situation is. It's just like they're spiraling. Just because, like, both of them, because it's like they want to be with each other. Even on Vince's part, he's like, I think that's the main reason why he wanted to see Kat in this episode, was because he was like, yo, the guy was talking about him being too emotional. I'm thinking that's what he was going to try and do. It's like, okay, see Kat, it'll make me feel better and keep me calm, so I won't have to worry about beasting out. Which, surprisingly enough, he didn't do that too much this episode. I mean, obviously he took advantage of his beast powers without beasting out, like when he was switching the watch around, and he kind of did it super fast. That was pretty smooth. Or when he used his senses to kind of open that safe. I will admit, kind of jumping around a little bit, I'm surprised Diana got killed. Like, I mean, granted, I would have thought Kat would have been able to, like, keep up with her a little bit better, but I guess it's like, well, Kat's a cop, and she's trained in fighting and stuff, but, like, she is kind of, like, a well-trained assassin, so, But I thought it was kind of interesting, like, I didn't expect her to die. Like, granted, it was like an accident because she ended up falling on a knife and killing herself, essentially, during the struggle with Kat, because it was pretty much a one-sided fight until then. But I wasn't expecting them to kill her off. I was like, oh yeah, she's going to be a constant part of the series from now, like, this point, because she's going to be Vince's partner, kind of causing even more of a divide between him and Kat, a little bit, like, having to decide, like, okay, help Kat while at the same time convincing her that he's on her side. Because I thought it was fascinating, because I thought that was going to be a constant dynamic. But it's like, truth be told, honestly, she wouldn't be dead now if she wasn't so adamant about testing Vincent's loyalty. Which, granted, she has a right to distrust his loyalty, even have him trying to kill that guy. I was wondering how he was going to do it because it's kind of a question. Oh, whether he was actually going to kill that guy who came to respond to the alarm, the panic alarm going off, and it's like I was like, okay, is he going to do it or not? I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, he's going to end up sadly, he's going to end up doing it, maybe. And what's going to end up happening is Kat's going to find it and just be distraught. Because I was like, I know Vincent's not going to want to kill him because most times, more often than not, Vincent's only killed out of necessity. Like, oh, I need to kill because it's like I'm defending myself. It's out of self-defense. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was season 2 where he was killing people mainly because they were beasts because he was kind of brainwashed at the time. But other than that, he only kills people out of like defense and necessity. So I was like, when he starts strangling dude, okay, I was like, okay, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to get him close to dying, like get to the point where his heart stops beating, to the point where a human will be able to detect it, but you'll be able to detect it. But maybe that's also what helped because he is a beast. He knew when to kind of cut it off to the point he'd have an extremely slow heartbeat. But he was able to resuscitate the guy. Granted, the guy was a little freaked out afterwards, but he did tell the DHS lady that Vincent did save him because she's kind of in a question of like, because she's like, yeah, Vincent's up here. You're saying he's trying to prove his innocence. So why is he running with an assassin, a lady that's been wanted for multiple counts of murder? So, but I'm surprised things ended that way. Like I said, I was really expecting her to be more of a consistent character. I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting them to shift Morgan out. It's just like we got introduced to the character the last episode, and he's already gone. It's like, okay. We also have Tess, she hasn't outright said it because Kat kind of alluded to it earlier in the episode. She's like, go ahead and tell me you were right, like I was right all along, that Tess was right all along about the whole, like, this being a terrible plan, I don't know, would things have worked out better for them if Vincent had turned himself in? It doesn't make you wonder, maybe things would have, I don't know, but maybe I don't know. Because granted, Hill planned the whole thing because the whole point was Vincent not to be alive now, so he wouldn't have to worry about really. This situation wouldn't have been something that Hill had to like prepare for ahead of time. I mean, he did to a certain extent because he has all those encrypted files that they still don't have access to. But it's like, would things have been better if Vincent had turned himself in? I kind of lean more towards yes, but I guess it's because Vincent spent so much of his life as kind of a caged animal, like hiding away. He just wanted to take a more, I guess because it's that plus the fact is, with this group he's in with, arm's reach of the person who put the bounty on him. I'm guessing, that's kind of his mentality about it, but it still wasn't a smart plan. He's always kind of like, throughout the episode, he's kind of like, our plan. It's like, no, it's not our plan. This was your plan, and I'm just going along with it just because I really didn't have much choice in the matter. But what I was saying is the fact this Tess is kind of like, yeah, I told you, like, this is a dumb plan. Like, you can see that she's so adamantly against it. She is still playing her role of just being like, like, I'm not helping you out. I'll help you some here and there, but I won't, directly get involved because, I mean, on some levels, it's kind of like she does have some normalcy in her life. Granted, she doesn't want to see Vincent put away and stuff like that because she knows the circumstances behind it. She doesn't want to see her best friend sad. It's kind of interesting, like, because I'm quickly jumping to JT, like, he's so adamant about, like, making sure that Vincent comes out of this okay because he wants them back together because it's kind of like in his mind, it's like, this is a fairy tale love story, and it's like, you gotta get Romeo and Juliet together, essentially, It's like they are so in love, they're so meant to be together. It's their destiny, and it's like, you have to bring them back together. It seems like JT's kind of taking a punt on me because he's like, because not even just on Vince's part, he's looking out for Kat too because he cares about both of them and he wants them to be happy. Like, their happiness, kind of affects their happiness because it's like, because I guess in his mind, he's kind of like, if they can make it, with everything they're going through, if they can come back together, survive this, if they can make it and just live the rest of their lives being happy, then I think maybe on some level he's thinking like, there's hope for me and Tess, which in this episode is kind of that subject kind of gets brought up. I brought that up before about Tess possibly having a suitor, someone that takes interest in her, and it kind of popped up this episode. Heather ends up breaking the news to JT, which the moment she said it to JT, I was like, you're going to say that to him, and it's not going to be like that with Tess, because she's going out having drinks with the ADA, and I'm like, it's not even going to be like that, and you're just going to kind of regret that you kind of opened your mouth about it. Because I mean, granted, Heather is trying to look out for them too. Because she's like, yeah, it's fine, Dan. Yeah, it's great that Kat and Vincent get back together. Maybe after we're done helping them, maybe we can help you and Tess get back together. Because it's like you've been like messing around too much. Granted, JT's been so caught up in everything with Vincent and Kat. He's let things with his relationship slip. I mean, he still hasn't even begun to find out, like, what I want to do with my life. I'm still saying the best option I think would be working with Tess. It's like that way, you work as a consultant, you help her out on a technical level. You be one of her tech guys, I mean, that's my go-to answer. That's always been my go-to answer, but maybe he just doesn't feel that way. But we did have like JT showing up later on in the episode, going to her quote unquote date, and he's like, yo, just give me a chance, like, please don't date anyone, I still have feelings for you, I'm still trying my best. He came up the whole like, oh, he found out where she was at that night, and he got super dressed up and made it seem like he ran into her by accident. But Tess quickly saw through that, and it was just kind of like, he's like, please don't date anyone. I know it's going to take me a while, but I'm a step closer. I'm going to get to it eventually. But then he sees, like, the waitress kind of bring over the extra beer or whatever, and he's just like, oh, don't let me intrude. And she's like, no, JT, she's trying to explain, but he's kind of so heartbroken, he simply walks away. My opinion, it's not like that. I threw that out there as a suggestion because I thought it'd be kind of interesting. I mean, I thought it was going to flip-flop the other way because we saw JT kind of being a little flirtatious with that girl offering him a job, which we still never got back to. I want to say that was a sincere job offer, but I don't know. Maybe that's going to pop up later on and it's going to be like, yep, Tess was right. This was kind of a little hinky. I don't know. But she's just kind of explaining, like, yeah, it's not like that. And I don't think it was. I think it was probably professional. Cops, tend to, like, discuss business and stuff over beer. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was asking her professional help on a particular case or something. I mean, granted, I don't know. I mean, the last ADA that we really got to know in the series was Gabe. So, but, we don't even know if the ADA is actually a guy. I mean, we kind of assumed because of the way she acted. I was just like, I mean, like when it happened earlier in the episode when Kat and Tess were when Kat and Heather were in the office with her, she kind of immediately took the call, like stopped the phone, when her someone was like, oh yeah, your dinner, the whole thing with the ADA is set up. It's kind of like, so I don't know. It could easily just be a lady. But even if it's a guy, I just think maybe it was something professional. I don't know. Because I feel like Tess didn't really get a chance to explain herself. JT just thought the worst. He was just so heartbroken, he walked away. Or maybe it actually is like that. I don't know. Because Tess was quick to change the subject, because I guess it really should be told that she doesn't want to be talking about her relationship, her and JT. Like, I think that's just one big reason. So it's going to be very interesting to see where things progress from now on, because we have the DHS ladies like, okay, Kat, I'm giving you a chance. Yeah, I truly believe that you are, I mean, you did take down Diana. She's a pretty large game. So I will, but it's like, it is funny how your husband just miraculously happens to escape. So there's that. She's like, so I'll let you lead the manhunt, take over this operation. But if I find out the even slightest bit that you're not, being honest about all this, I'll take you down with your husband. Basically reiterating what Morgan's already put in her head. That plus looks like Vincent's kind of stared the hornet's nest a little bit with his boss, the one that was kind of dishing him out missions this episode, because that guy is like, yo, Diana's dead, like one of my best agents. And I was like, obviously there's a lot of questions. It seems very interesting to see how they're going to be from now on, because even he's not 100% trustworthy of Vincent. I mean, that was the whole point of him trying to get, Diana to kind of flush him out to see if, like, his loyalty was really with them or not. So I'm going to be interested because, he's going to keep an eye on Vincent. And it's like, it makes you wonder, how do they find time to get away and be with each other when everyone's got their eyes on both of them? I guess DHS lacks their watchful eye on Kat, but they're still looking for Vincent. But, it's kind of interesting. It's like moving the way you do. How is it that you're ever caught? But I guess every once in a while you kind of have to slow down and stop. So you can't avoid all surveillance in the world because, I mean, you're pretty much tapped into a lot of surveillance. They've got drones and everyone looking for them. So it's kind of, well, I mean, obviously not the locals because the local cops don't know, like, Tessa's precinct doesn't know that they're supposed to be looking for him because they don't know there's a reason to be looking for him. So, but they do want to kind of change things. It's like we got to stay in communication. Because it's very interesting because before Vincent came up with this bright idea, he forgot the one fundamental thing. Yes, you two are a power couple, but that's the key word there, power couple. You're weakest when you're apart. You're the strongest when you're together. It's when you're divided is when you're at your weakest. And it's like being kind of like caught off balance, constantly worried about the other. That's not going to help you. That's going to keep you off balance and make it easier for you both to get caught and end up dead. I mean, in her case, locked up. Him most likely dead because that organization probably will not probably, definitely doesn't do well with people they don't trust. It's like they find out that he's not being earnest about why he's there, they will kill him. So I don't know. Like they kind of forgot that. I think, not just Vince, but I think Kat kind of forgot that too. They are their strongest together. They are the best team. Not just on a professional level, but on a personal level too. They say like, we kind of forgot that, And it's kind of nice, for them to kind of bring that up and remember that, And that whole thing at the end, like that final scene, that was really steamy. I don't know why that kind of catches me off guard. I guess it's because I'm thinking like it's the CW. They never go that far. I mean, it's something the CW obviously they tastefully skirt around it. They show you a little bit, but obviously don't go HBO with it. I don't know. I turn into like an anime character who's like heavily blushing, like, oh, what should I really be seeing this? Like, should this really be happening on the CW? Are you allowed to do something like that? I don't know. It always catches my eye. I guess because it's kind of one of those things. It's like you're never really sure what's really like okay for certain networks and what's not. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like it's just something I just couldn't go like, wow, I can't believe they went that far with it. But it's I don't know. Like her laughing at it and kind of makes it seem more playful, so it's not as sexualized, I guess, or I don't know how to really phrase it, but I guess I don't know. It's just to me that just I couldn't help but thinking that like the moment before the credits roll, I'm like, wow, they showed that. That was nevertheless whatever. Still really no closer to really finding out who it is who has the bounty on him. I mean, granted, Vincent's still at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the organization. I mean, he's working his way up to a certain extent. He is being put on missions. He's basically saying, like, yo, put me on some better missions next time. I got you this flash drive. No telling what's on that flash drive. So, makes you wonder if it was some, like... I mean, considering what kind of work they do, it's kind of like it's got to be some very pertinent information. I do hope that it ends up being something. No, not hope. It definitely will be something that comes back up. It's just like I don't know, like because it's gonna be like, oh, they find out like some top secret information is gonna miss it, and then Vince is like, that's what I ended up stealing from that guy. Me and Diana ended up stealing from that guy. So I know. Be very interesting. See where everything goes from here. Like the fact, like one thing, like I talked about the fact this Tess kind of, is the way she is about things. It makes you wonder will that eventually wear down Kat, and Kat will finally snap at her. Once I was like, okay, I get it. You're totally against all of this, and now you're not really backing me up when I need your backup, because it's like. Tess has been backing up. Like I said, she is kind of somewhat getting back to her normal life. Granted, she still knows what she knows. That can't be erased from her brain, but still, it makes you wonder would that kind of interfere with things. I mean, because it's at that point where Kat has to kind of decide, like, where is she willing to draw the line for, like, going to make sure, to protect Vince. I mean, it looks like she's willing to do anything as long as she can make sure that Vincent comes out of this alive. So, yes, she wants to prove his innocence and whatnot, but her main goal is that's all secondary to making sure that he comes out of this alive. Because it's like if he ends up getting caught, that's fine. Granted that sucks, but it's better to him get caught than him be killed by DHS, because they could easily go that route. But she doesn't want him to. But him being arrested is the lesser of the evils, in her opinion. Especially getting mixed up in the work they have been. I kind of skated over it because I kind of didn't think about it till now. She did bring up that whole kissing thing to him again, because he was trying to kiss her. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm kissing you because I don't know if I'll ever come back to you. Like, this might be the last time I want it, in case this might be our last kiss or something. She's like, shut up, don't talk like that. But the fact of the matter is, she brought that up and he was just kind of like, wait, what? And she was just like, no, you know what? Never mind. It's just like, it really bothered her. And it kind of broke my heart. It's like, oh, because to me, that shows real love. I mean, she was very indifferent about, like, no, I don't know. I guess because she's very upfront. She isn't beat around the bush. She wasn't like, oh no no, I get it. I 100% get it. It was you. It was undercover work. I mean, he's like, oh look, isn't that my boss dragging away your wife? And he's like, it was undercover work. Why won't you believe me? So, be very interesting. I'm just very interested to see where everything goes from here. So, but that's really all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.